Hey guys, how's it going? This is Trey. I'm really glad to see you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Before I get started, I would just like to say that I had a completely different topic that I was going to talk about. However, something this week reminded me of a TV show that I hadn't seen in many years. Apparently, I mentally blocked it because it was that bad. The Ren and Stimpy show came out when I was only 8 years old, and being influenced by classic cartoons, such as the work of Tex Avery and Bob Clampett, it was an incredible animated program and quickly became my favorite thing, not just my favorite show. However, after only 2 seasons, the director and creator, John Kricfalusi, was fired after not meeting deadlines and for having a lot of conflicts with Nickelodeon regarding the direction of the series. Ren and Stimpy was then produced by Games Animation, Nickelodeon's in-house studio, before its cancellation 3 years later. Spike TV decided that a revival of the now classic cartoon was what the public needed, and they even got John K. back to direct the show. And this time, they wanted an edgier version of the program, while also giving John K. much more creative freedom than he had at Nickelodeon. Now, if the word edgy made you cringe a little bit, well, get ready. Because if you've never seen this shitstorm of garbage before, I'm about to educate you on what could be the worst reboot of an intellectual property ever. How bad could it be, you may ask? Well, if it's any hint, only 3 episodes were aired before it was taken off of the network, and only 6 were ever produced. Yes, it is that bad. And I must add that Billy West, the voice actor who portrayed Stimpy on the original show, looked at the scripts for the new show, and he could tell that they were so bad that he declined to work on it in fear that it may irreparably damage his career. And I believe he was 100% correct. Very smart man. This is the story of Ren and Stimpy, adult party cartoon. Yes, they even gave it an incredibly awful name. I remember the first time I heard the title of the show, and I just knew there was something wrong before I even saw it. If you missed out on this era of Spike television, consider yourself very lucky. And if you're wondering, I'll let you know right now that Viacom does not want anybody to see this show. The original 5 seasons of Ren and Stimpy from Nickelodeon, they're on Paramount Plus right now. The adult party cartoon is not. The first episode, Onward and Upward, was actually written based on suggestions from fans from the Nickelodeon days that wanted to see a show that focuses solely on the gross aspects of Ren and Stimpy. Now, as to why John K. would let this happen is beyond me. The first thing you will see is a title card reminiscent of the original show and is accompanied by some of that great classical music that the original series employed to great effect. However, this music does not fit adult party cartoons' vastly different tone. Using this music only serves to highlight the fact that we are watching something disgusting and terrible that is trying to be Ren and Stimpy but has no idea what made the original series great. This soundtrack is a slap in the face of classic Ren and Stimpy fans, a constant reminder that you're not watching the original show. The episode sort of starts off like a typical Ren and Stimpy story. The pair are living in a homeless man's mouth, which sort of sounds like a typical Ren and Stimpy setup, right? But immediately, within the first 2 minutes, we're hit with one of the changes that was made to this show to make it edgy and adult. Now, apparently, Ren and Stimpy are a romantic couple, and a relationship is blatantly shown as a joke. Now, Why this was considered funny is a mystery. They don't like living in the homeless man's mouth, so they go into a bar and they move into a spittoon and proceed to eat snot and vomit. And that's the joke? Oh, correction. I'm sorry. That's not a joke. That's just them being gross. Following the eating of bodily fluids, they go into the bedroom and have, at first, this metaphorical baseball intercourse, but then they end up just jumping under the sheets and start running around. You know, just in case the metaphor went over your head, they're having. Soon the pair are discovered by the bar's inhabitants and are chased out of the bar and jump back in the homeless man's pants. And the episode is over. I remember that sick feeling I had when I saw this episode on television. An entire episode of Ren and Stimpy with not a single joke. And nothing was funny. And I have to say, the characteristic of them being an old married couple instead of the two bachelors trying to just scam ways to make money like on the old show, it was kind of a jarring change, and it's really sickening to watch because you feel like the fact that they're gay is the joke, and that already feels offensive. And this cartoon feels like bad fan fiction crossed with Rule 43. Well, that was a total nightmare, and reliving the sick feeling that I had the night that episode premiered, when I knew that Ren and Stimpy were truly dead, was horrible. The last 3 seasons of the show that Games Animation produced, they were not good. There were a few episodes that were okay, but most of them were not extremely funny. But they were not so bad as to make me sick. And this crap makes me sick. Also, I have to mention that unlike the old episodes that were about 11 minutes long apiece, the Adult Party cartoon, it just had episodes that were just a different length every time for some reason. And the first episode that we just discussed is 20 minutes. There was about 3 minutes of content in that 20 minutes, and they stretched it out to 20 whole minutes. And the lack of jokes or anything funny or entertaining or enjoyable in any way is only compounded by double the runtime of an original episode.